or 251774.
And here we go. Fire. Every time I say that now, I remember you, brother. Good morning, everybody. This just may be the last live, Real Talk Live for 2024. Not sure. All right, this might just be the last Real Talk Live, unless something drastic happens and boom, I have to come in and say something about it. Okay, guys. So here's what. This morning, what is it? What is it? What's up? What's up? Anyway, morning mix. Lord, shout out to you, brother. Let me reach out to Ali. Ali, good morning. I see you there. Good morning to everybody. We're about to come in. Some of you guys are going to be here later. Some of you are going to be here. God knows when. Let me ask you guys. Am I on? I don't know if I'm coming to you live from VybeRadio page. Am I coming to you live from VybeRadio, or am I coming to you live from my personal page? I really don't know. Tell me that we on no, on the Facebook. Tell me that you're on VybeRadio and nothing else. That's where you are. That's what I want to know. I want to know that you're on VybeRadio. I don't want to know that you're on so you have to Ali, good morning. Are you on VybeRadio's page there? Yeah, some of your people, I honestly I won't forget to pass by, sweetie. Alright, so show my breath, you're watching on VybeRadio. Okay, good. There you go. Alright, this morning, guys, my apologies because I didn't know where I went. Sometimes you just and with me there, problems in the arena. This morning, something bothered me this morning. I had a conversation yesterday evening about something that we all know about. Alright, something happened during last week, was it, where this guy drove his vehicle into some scaffolding some workers were standing on, right? The conversation that I had, I noticed the caption, angry, all right? Morning, Vivian Armstrong, Ms. Bissett, Eugene, Shilma, Valencia, good morning. The issue I'm having is, we were having a conversation sometime yesterday, early evening, about it. And one of the guys in the conversation said, boy, it's that I justifying about, boy, you see pressure that burst pipe. And boy, probably the man couldn't take the amount of pressure after he was vexed already. And I'm thinking, what are you really saying? What are you saying? Are you saying that he's guy? No, I'm not saying that he's right. You're not saying that he's right. However, you're kind of justifying, what went on as okay. It happened just because of that, and it happened just because of that. And it's almost like this man had to prove a point. It's almost as if this man had to, show everybody that he was the big bad guy, that he was brave, and to the point where he came out and, the child ran out of the vehicle, and nobody sees that. Everybody sees this man driving in the scaffolding. Everybody sees this man coming out. They say, boy, what? That man have anger this and that man have anger that. Nobody saw the little boy running out of the vehicle in fear. Nobody saw. Everybody's now saying, and mind you, I'm all for the fact that, boy, I think that man, and I don't care who he is. I don't care who Vex. I don't care who is his friend on here or anything like that. I really don't care. All right, if you're his friend and you're going to encourage that kind of behavior, I guess birds of a feather. But the reality of the situation is, I'm in agreement. This guy, I would charge for attempted murder. Straight. Full stop. But then I would also go further to charge him for child abuse. Because, you know, the conversation is, boy, if you see I was them men, and even I said that too. Imagine Gonzalez, Jose, morning. You know, I too, I'm of the opinion that if I was standing on that scaffolding, probably it would have been a different story. All right? It would have been a different story. However, what about the child? You know, what about the child that you endangered? Notwithstanding the fact that according to rumors, and note I'm stating it, according to rumors, all right, because I didn't hear, not privy to the behind the scenes or all of that. All I saw was what I saw on the camera, all right? A young child running from the backseat, almost as if freedom, and he's running from somebody, all right? And forget the fact that he might have been arguing with the child or whatever, and all of that, getting on, you know, abusing the child. Forget that. We didn't see that. I didn't see that. I know nothing about that. But here you have a child now running from the back seat of a vehicle, morning Sylvester, of a vehicle that a man drove into a scaffolding with men on top of that thing. We are angry. And then to have some people justifying that, boy, they were giving him on pressure, probably, you know, some people can crack under the pressure. Really? Really? That's the explanation? Is that what we teach our children now? When you go out there, forget about that whole conflict resolution, forget about that kind of management. If you can't take the pressure, then attack. Is that what we're teaching now? I'm not saying, and I will not come on here and be a hypocrite. I will not. All right? I will not be a hypocrite and say to you guys that if you are being attacked, do not defend yourself. Because I won't stand up there. Mafia's daughter. I'm not going to stand there and I'm being attacked. Oh, and I'm holier than thou. Don't attack me. I will turn the other cheek. Oh, if you hit me, I will tell God. No, I'll not tell God. You'll give God a headache that somebody might have to buy Panadol for. No, you're my headache at this point. If you're attacking me and I have to defend myself, I'll defend myself. So I'm not going to come on here and say to you guys, do not defend yourselves. I am, however, going to say to you that before something escalates and get to that point, are we teaching our children to stay and get into a back and forth to the point where somebody's supposed to die? Because you have to prove who is the bigger man. You know, up to yesterday, and I've said that several times. I've said that many times. I've said that to you guys before. I've said that to people that I talk to. And I said to those guys, I said to one of the guys, listen, the braver man is the man who could actually walk away while they calling him all kind of names. Well, he's a coward, move there, he's a beep, beep, beep. He's a beep, 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 beep. That is my sensor. All right. You braver. Because every single person, if you know, man, we have some big egos, huge egos that is almost like, boy, if you hurt our ego, we want to uproot everything. We want to burn down the world and all of that. If you can walk away, in the middle of that, okay, that is what makes you a brave individual, all right? Nothing else. Nothing else. Not the fact that you're going to stand up there and fight and show them you're the bigger man. You're the bigger man how? Because you stood and fight? And then what? What happens if that person decides, I am going to take you out by any means necessary, or you strike that person and that person drops? Do you say, that wasn't what I was aiming to do? I just wanted him to respect me? Is that what we're teaching? Are we saying that it is okay, you know? And seriously, I could not accept that somebody is going to justify that this man was under pressure. Unless there is and when we talk about mental issues, We talk about, all types, morning Erin. We talk about all types of mental issues, and a lot of people think if you're not walking in the road naked, no shoes and that kind of thing, then you don't have a mental issue. All right? You do not have to be walking the streets, naked or singing certain songs or you're all out there for you to have a mental issue. All right? It could very well be you're stressed. You don't know what's going on. It could very well be it's affecting your mood. You understand what I'm saying? I want to ask you, all right? You know what I'm saying? All right? It could very well mean all of those things. But don't for 1 second say to me, all right, that nobody saw this little boy running. And for me, I would take that guy to task. For me, this young man, this little boy in that vehicle, I would not send that child back to him. Full stop. I would not send that child back to him. Okay? And I don't care. I don't care who is over here. I don't care who is vexed. Someone said today is the funeral. It would have been nice to see him. Oh. Okay. All right. Yes. So I was saying, whatever you do, you think about those things when you're justifying. You think that this man just taught his child that this is how you deal with an issue. All right? This is how you deal with an issue. If somebody is giving you pressure, you turn around. If you have something and somebody says the guy appears to have had an object in his hand when he came out of the vehicle. And so what? Many people think because they're armed, that makes them superhuman. It doesn't make you superhuman. Okay? You're just as vulnerable, because if somebody just has to have the mindset that I am going to do you now. Okay? And chances are, they may just get the upper hand because you're already angry, because you already dealt with this incorrectly. Okay? You dealt with this. You endangered not just the men. You endangered the young man that was in the car. And let's just say he was clear. He's out of danger. The scaffolding didn't fall on him. People will say, oh, but nothing happened to the child. Something did happen to the damn child. Something did happen to that child. That child ran out of the vehicle like he was running for dear life. What is your problem at this point? What do you think you did to that child? Don't you think right now in its counseling? No, but because of how we are, we're figuring, say, Nusha, if you get counseling, if you go and you speak to somebody, then you must be mad or you have a problem. This is not us. Somebody, and to get to that child, our social services, whoever, we're supposed to get to that child and counsel that child. We're supposed to pull this child aside. This is not a little cutas little boy get for doing a thing. I belt lash. You drove into, this man drove into the scaffolding with men on top. Okay? You didn't even care that somebody could have died. And then what? They're going to come defend you and say, no, this man is supposed to. And not just take him and chuck him in jail. You see, many times we think that this is the answer. Oh, I do believe that he should take some time. I believe that. I believe that. Don't get me wrong. I believe that. However, I also believe that this man needs counseling. All right? I also believe somebody, and it's real. Mental health issues come in many different forms. So I believe that after he's cooled down, all right, he should get counseling by force even. All right? Somebody needs to take him in, and he should be doing some hours, with a professional. He should be getting this out of his system, Monindi. All right? Getting it out of his system. Because something is triggering that rage. For you to think that it is okay. And I don't think you think it's okay, You know it's not okay. You know there are consequences. And when people do things like that, you have to think, if he did this, then clearly he must have thought he could get away with it. If he's going to do this without a moment's thought, bang, and then come out of the vehicle and get on, he must have thought he would get away with it. Okay? He must have had good enough reason to believe this thing will just be swept under the carpet. Morning, bro. What you saying? You know, it will be swept under the carpet. This is just what he's thinking will happen. You know? And then you know what the crazy thing about all of this is? The crazy thing about all of this is he's going to come back and it's going to be a normal thing where he gets this child and he's back to normal until he has another episode where he either kills somebody else or the child. You know, I wouldn't doubt that he's blaming the child. Morning, Pinky Pinks, that he's blaming the child for him being so angry, for him doing that. Because he wouldn't blame anybody else. It's the guy's fault. The guys were giving him pressure. Leon says God alone knows what's going on at his home. I mean, think about it. If you're that angry, exactly, it leaves me the question, what is really happening at your home? You know, and every single person gets upset. Every single person says a thing or two. But man, this is the extreme. This wasn't self-defense. This was attempted murder. And like I said in the beginning, if you have friends on here, or friends who are going to be listening, and I want to condemn me for saying it and all of that, all right, go ahead. But it goes to show who you are. If you have people in your life, somebody says this type of response from him may also be that he was traumatized as a child also, and this is the only way he knows how to react or respond to stressful situations. And that is exactly what I'm saying. Pinky, you see, you like Roro so much. I say more than Pinky Pinks, you're going to come and get on with me. Anyway, you know, this is exactly what I was saying. It could very well be that this man has an issue, all right? And we need to dig. We need to take him in. We need to have a conversation with people like that. Many times we send people to jail for doing something. And the last time I mentioned that. We send people to jail for doing something. They go in, they take 5 years, whatever time, and they come right back out. They dumped right back into the system. No kind of reform, nothing. You were in jail, you were working in the garden, you were doing this, you were doing that. You come back out, bam, nothing. You learned nothing. You learned absolutely nothing. Okay? We need some sort of intervention when certain things happen, especially when there's murder and all that involved, when somebody's consistently getting in trouble for that kind of situation, there is a bigger problem. And many times we sit there and we criticize children. You know, we're quick to say these hooligans, and we're quick to turn around and point at children and say, I know this one will be nothing good. You know, I know this one many times this is what we do. All right, well, you do. I don't get involved in that kind of action. All right, you always see something wrong in a child and nobody takes the time. Nobody takes the time out to see if they can get the right thing out before it gets out of hand. Nobody takes that kind of time. Okay? And this is what we are supposed to do before criticizing children, before dragging them. And many times, when they achieve something, unless they reach the level of one of our national heroes, a Julian Alfred, a Sammy, or anyone, unless they reach that level, we don't recognize it. You know, I was having a conversation with my brother. All right, I was having a conversation with my brother recently, a couple nights ago, and I said to him, all the time, you're getting on and people getting on and saying, boy, I will punish that one, I'll punish that one. I said to him, listen, we need to level up. That's the punishment I'm giving you. Up to 9, I'm giving you praise and reward at that same level. All right? The same level. Many times we point out the negative for children, and this right there is another negative. We point out negative for children, and when we point it out, we don't point out the positive because the positive is too small. Guess what? They will remember both. They will remember both. The same emphasis you placing on punishment. Place that emphasis on an explanation for the punishment. Don't think you don't owe a child an explanation. What explanation, though, could you possibly give a child for driving in? Oh, well, them man get me vex. Yeah, Brutus, them man get me vex. So I guess I have to show them, man, what time it is. Is that how we operate? Is that what we do? And it is okay for a child to see that and then go about life as normal. And then this child is acting up. This child is acting up and fighting up. And then what? This child is a bad child? Sakaya murderer, Sakaya vole? Is that what we do? Is that how we bring up those children and expect them to deal with conflict properly? They're going to be okay. Don't worry, man. They'll outgrow that. They will outgrow that. But guess what? They don't outgrow it. They compartmentalize until it is time for them to unlock this. For them to unlock it, for PTSD to set in, and for them to decide, this is how you react to that. I remember when the mother give daddy problems. It is a similar issue. Daddy just drive on them money. You know what I'm going to do? I'm mashing up them man, guys, bigger than them man. That's it. That's how they do it. Because we taught them that. We taught them. We keep teaching them that this is the way to go. We keep teaching them one thing at home, and then we teach them, we show them to show face. Like many of us out there, we tell them, you do that at home, and you get on it, and then out there, you say to them, you need to love one another. You need to show more love. You need to respect people. You need to share. Babe and hypocrite. All right? The thing about it is, the same love that you encourage in your children to give out there, give it to them in there. Give it to them. Let them know that this is not just something that is expected of you. And teach them that this is the right way to go. Stop teaching them one thing at home and expect them to react differently out there. You're confusing them. All right? You're confusing them. When they do something and you are going to punish them, explain to them why they are getting punished. Explain to them that this is what you did. And when you see them trying to come back to you, when you see them trying to be good, here's what you do. You reward them accordingly. You reward them and tell them why you're rewarding them. Don't just throw things at children. Oh, this is that and this is that. And they're supposed to decide. I wonder why. Maybe it's because, no, stop leaving doubt in their heads. If someone says, we need social workers within the educational system, be at the school, helping kids who cannot speak to their parents. We need to stop confusing them, teach them, this is what I expect from you, and show them what you're doing. Show them. Okay? I rewarded you because you did a good job. I rewarded you because this is what happened, and I'm happy with this. Okay? Reward them and tell them why. Don't just throw things at them at the same time. Don't just punish them and decide, because I'm a grown-up, you don't question why I'm punishing you. Of course they could question it. Of course they're going to question it. And of course they're not going to correct anything that they did wrong if they're left to guess. Because children are children, and children will do what children do. And guess what they do? They make mistakes. They make mistakes, for crying out loud. They do things that that we've done before, and some of us, we did worse than them. Okay, so if you're going to punish me after I did 20 things and I really don't know which one you're punishing me for, I'm going to correct one, the one that I think was bad. And generally, if I do 20 things, I only think about 2 of them were wrong. The other 18, the other 18, you know, I did it. I did it. I did what I did. And, you know, nobody corrected me on it. You know. And this is what you do. This is what you do. And so don't tell me, don't justify this man driving into a scaffolding, and then all we worried about is his anger and whatnot, and we're not worried about the child that ran out of that car. It's going to be traumatized for a while. All right, he's going to go to school as normal, and then some friends will watch him, and some of us, you know, we send some children to school because from home we are teaching them how to deal with people, and some friend will, hey, your father is a murderer. Whatever they put on them, and then to some, the father is a hero. And says, this is something I was having a conversation with myself on the weekend. You're still talking to yourself, my love? All the love I've given to you. Anyway, we'll see. Some of them will look at this guy as a hero. Some of them will turn around and say, boy, your father is a bad money boy. Your father run them fellas down. And that's it. That's it. You know, that is what they see. Until later on they realize that this is not the way to handle conflict. Okay? But what do? We only there to criticize them, or we there to make noise when the world recognizes them because they fought. You know, they decided, I'm not going to go this route that my parents have gone. So I'm going to fight it. And I'm going to make it. And then, oh, we recognize them. Boy, that child came from humble beginnings. Yeah, boy, that fight the odds. But do you know how many of them could actually get there? How many of them could actually get there with more help from us? Do you know how many of them we could actually celebrate? Somebody says, I remember years ago calling family services. They asked me so many questions I could not answer. All I asked them was to go and investigate. The system let children down too. I agree. And that's what I say. Or you were preparing to talk to your daughter, so you have to coach yourself first. I agree. You know, somebody says they now have to look at his performance. And it's true. His performance in the school, if he withdraws from his peers, or if he starts acting out more than it should be a concern. And it is so true. So many things could happen. You know. So many things could happen. You know. To this little boy. This little boy who had to run out. And nobody would believe, you know, that later on down the line, we just hurt him. You know. He is hurt also. And I sympathize with the guys on the scaffolding, and I think those guys should be properly compensated, and this man should be punished. But the part of the punishment should not just be a fine and jail time. This man should be forced to do some counseling. You know, he should be. It should be taken aside because it doesn't solve the problem. Many times we feel if somebody is killed or if another one will raise, another one will learn just before. Imagine they had put this man down. Imagine this man did this and the situation brought forth another kind of beast. The guys decided, you know what, you're doing that, Papi Show. Boom, boom, bam, bam, bam. He done. You now have another angry child. He knows what his father did. But in his head, it was justified, you know. But then, people killed his father. All right? And so now, it's a whole revenge thing. And so we need to, it is more than just putting somebody down. It is more than just putting somebody in prison. It is more than just paying a fine. You know, we need to be held accountable. We need to explain. And it's true, you know, the construction workers showed great restraint. Could have been by force because somebody said, this guy had something in his hand. It could have been by force. But How many construction workers? I'm sure one would have gotten you if they had to. But you are right. They showed great restraint. All right? Because this could have gone any which way. All right? And are we just going to sweep this one? Is it just going to be another video that we put out for likes? Is it just going to be another video that, oh, we send out there, let me see if we put it on our page, how many people will like it, or what are the opinions, and it's just going to die out like everything else? Are we even going to go back to check on this child to see how he's doing? Are we going to check on the construction workers? Are we going to check to see that justice was served? Are we going to see to it that this guy got what was coming for him? Or are we going to just have another video out there for likes? Is that what it is? Is that what we're doing? Is that how we teach our children to go out there and decide pressure burst pipe, so water must come out and blood must spill? Is that what we're teaching? Is it okay? Is that little boy okay today? The authorities, did they check on him? Did they put it out there? Did they put it out there? And somebody is saying about social workers who are too lackadaisical and refuse to take the necessary steps. Not all of them. And I'm telling you, it's not all of them. I'll tell you something. The same way some parents go about blaming teachers. Les morning, so blaming teachers for some things that they teach children at home. They blame teachers, and you put extra pressure on children because you expect to send a child to school and they behave according to what Miss is trying to teach them and their peers. But then they come home and it's a whole conflict. So they're stuck in the middle, trying to please both parties. Eventually, it's going to come out. Okay? Likewise, we are blaming social workers sometimes. I'm not saying there's some that really probably figure whatever, I get paid anyway. All right? But here's where we all have to share the blame. Many times we see things and don't say anything. We see things and then turn around and decide, me, that's not my business. I know them people already. I even get in me. Next thing they say, I say, and we don't even consider what comes after. By you're just as guilty if you're going to sit there and say nothing. You're just as guilty if you're going to sit there and pretend it didn't happen because it didn't come on your doorstep or it's not one of your family members. You're just as guilty. If you see it and you don't say it, then that in itself is a problem. Sitting there and allowing it to happen, then later on, it's going to knock on your doorstep. That same child, a few years ago that you decided, for Leika, people, houses they will enter, and all that kind of thing. All right? That same child that you decided to leave out there and say nothing about might just be the one, truly entering your house, murdering you or somebody else around you. Okay? That's the same one that's going to put you down. And many times we feel that, boy, they cannot change. They're gone. They're not gone. They're not gone, people. This is a child in elementary level came to me and asked, what would I do if someone keeps bullying me? Before I can ask her really my answer, she told me my dad said to knock them out. I did my best, but hey, I'm not the parent. Talk to them. Talk to them. I, for one, can take on bullies. I can take on bullies. Okay? But guess what? Even the bully, and more so, many times when you see a bully is overreacting and getting on and doing things, look for the root of the problem. Many times they're scared, and this is the front. Many times, more often than not, if you get to the root of the problem, they're acting out. They're acting out because they too, they're scared and they need help. Someone says, I saw a comment where someone said, people should mind their business and not have intervened, but if the man had killed the child, then they would say all these people around and no one did it. And it's true. It is true. Many times, the times you're supposed to mind your business, you're not minding your business at all. The time you're supposed to mind your business, everybody business is your own. Nice I'm there. I'm not seeing chicken again. And you're grinding your teeth. Nobody around. You're talking to your friend. I said, not nice in there. Not seeing chicken. What to me around the guy chicken. Leave her there. She always posting about him. Girl, tired, children. What we with? Ulteriorly there with it. That's your. That's your business. The business you'll have to mind, you're not minding it at all. Alright? You see things like that, you talk about it. You see things like that, you report it. Report it. Don't just sit there. Somebody says, how many of us will applaud the construction workers for not attacking? And that's true. You know? And that is true. You know? How many people highlighted that? And you're right, society loves chaos. This is what we thrive on. We just see it as another video to put out and decide. Let's see if I put it out first, if I will get more likes from people that I do not actually know. But I put out a video and I'm craving the likes. You know, so guess what? I got some more likes. Oh my God, I got more likes. Hey, who's that person? Hey, who's that person? Mbuku Mbaka? Who's that person? You don't even know the person. You can't pronounce their name or anything like that. And you feel good about yourself because you got extra likes for something that you posted that you will not even go back to check. What happened? Is the child okay? Are the construction workers okay? Was justice served? Was this man fined? Was he jailed? Is he now in counseling? Is that child in counseling? How is he coping? And like you said earlier, did his grades drop? Is he overreacting to certain situations now? Is he afraid to be in school? How many of you actually thought of that? I'm sure not too many of you. Stop pushing them out there to grow before their time. Stop teaching them one thing and going out there and saying another thing. All right. I, for one, like I said to you guys, I'm no hypocrite. All right. I refuse to say to my child, stand up and let somebody rough you up and just stay there and turn the other cheek. No, I'm not going to tell that to my child. I'm not going to do that. All right. My children will also say to you, the first thing I say is, as long as you can avoid this, get away from it. You have to report it right away. Don't think that you're going to lose friends, boy, because you snitch what? Top TV, snitch what? All right, say what you have to say. All right, I'm not going to say to you, don't defend yourself if you have to defend yourself. But I'm definitely going to say to you, there must be a better way than what we just saw and what we are teaching them. And there must be a better way, you know, to show them that they're doing the right thing. All right? There must be a way when you speak to children to explain to them why you're doing this. All right? Why you're doing this. But you know what, guys? If we look on the positive side of this, wow, a positive? Yeah, a positive. If we look on the positive side of this, maybe if this idiot did not overreact, we would never know that there's a child in need of help until that child showed up dead. All right? We would never know. So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it was God showing us, hey, I'm shouting and you guys are not hearing. Maybe that was what we needed to realize that there's a dangerous individual out there that we should be monitoring. Maybe that's the positive in all of that. Because that young boy would never have said anything because he's scared. So let's look at the positive in all of this. And that cry for help, at least it can be answered now. All right, that silent cry. Because many time, we never hear what their eyes are trying to tell us. We don't hear it. Yes, I said it right. We don't hear it. You know, some people are screaming for help. But because of fear, they can't say it out loud. And we just have to look for the signs. So probably that right there was a sign. Take heed. Look for that little man, people. Check on the construction workers. And I'm saying to those of you out there in charge, you know, those of you out there in charge, is what you do. Make sure, aside from the fine that I think he should face, and probably a little jail time, yes, for attempted murder, okay, he should get some counseling, because I too think he needs help. All right, he needs help. Well, yep, they are afraid of being judged, so sometimes they don't say. Even adults too, and that's why I spoke about the mental health earlier. Even adults too, especially men. You know, we walk around and we're hurting, and we don't say anything because of our egos, because people might laugh at us, because people might look at us as, you mad. And that's what it is. You know, you start to break down, you start to, you mad. I'm seeing this and I'm seeing that and I'm hearing that. You mad. Because we're so judgmental. We judge all the wrong things. You know, I am not without sin. Oh, I'm not without sin. All right, I'm casting down stones anyway. All right, I'm putting it out there that better can be done by our children and by each other. Okay, guys? Thank you very much for being a part of this. Have a wonderful and blessed day. I'm going to do a live again before Christmas. I promise you guys that, God willing. All right? You take care of one another out there. And if you see it, say it. Don't just sit in silence and expect that everything is going to be all right. Some people actually need you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Some people actually need people like you to tell them. Yeah, they've taught men that, but let me tell you, there's a better way. I'm here on 92.9 or 100.9 on your FM dial or VybeRadio.com. You can always hit that listen live button. I'm here till about 10. All right, guys, take it easy. Real Talk brought to you with kind compliments of Caribbean Metals Limited, the Travel and Leisure Center, your visa experts, laboratory services and consultations limited, and Sea Island Cotton Shop. Have a wonderful and blessed day, and you can come on the other side to listen and enjoy, listen to and enjoy some music. All right, I'm out. Take it easy.